Hi guys, so I'm here with my January reading wrap up. I'm really happy with what I actually got read in January. I'm really surprised, but I read 13 books. Rosie! Every time I press record. Don't make me throw something at you. Yeah, I read 13 books. That's a combination of books on my Kindle. I actually read graphic novels this month. So yeah, I read a real mix this month, and I've really enjoyed pretty much everything that I've read. I really can't complain. So yeah, let's crack into this. So the first three books I read one after the other, and that is the second, third and fourth book in the Wallflowers series by Lisa Kleypas. I've mentioned a few times on my channel now that I'm really obsessed with her at the moment. Really enjoying her historical romance books. They're kind of just set after Regency period, so they're kind of in the Victorian period, kind of, but they still feel very much like Regency romance books. So I absolutely love them. So I have It Happened One Autumn, oh shit, The Devil in Winter, and Scandal in Spring. Out of the three of them, it's really hard to pick a favourite, but if I had to, I would pick The Devil in Winter, and a least favourite would probably be Scandal in Spring, but I loved all of them. But I just preferred, I think, the characters in The Devil in Winter is an absolutely fantastic book, and I can see why it's a lot of people's favourite historical romance. It's really well done. But I also liked It Happened One Autumn. I thought that was brilliant too. So yeah, I loved those. And I had to really force myself to not pick up more Lisa Kleypas books because I want to sort of eke them out. And in February, the fourth book in her Ravenel series comes out, so I'm going to allow myself to read that when that comes out. So I'm making sure that I've got all the books here. I made sure I pulled up my Goodreads before I recorded this. The book that I read after that was Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. This is one that I'd seen sort of on Goodreads popping up. And I'd had it on my shelf for a little while and I decided to pick it up. This was an odd read. I really enjoyed it, but it was very odd. Eleanor Oliphant is the protagonist, obviously, and at the beginning you don't quite know what to make of her. She's a bit of an oddball. She's very blunt in the way that she sort of thinks, and she thinks people are weird, but she is the sort of person that acts differently to other people, but she doesn't see anything odd in that. And you do think she's a bit weird, like how she talks about her colleagues, and she's kind of ostracized, kind of, but as you go through it, in little nuggets of her past are revealed, and you think, well, okay, maybe that's the way she is, and there's something not quite right. But as things are revealed and stuff, you actually understand her a lot more and why she acts like she does. And it was funny. It did hit like hard topics, but it was funny and amusing. And I would recommend it. Definitely turns you around on how you feel about the main character. And I really liked it for that. So I'd probably say I give it about 4 out of 5. The Lisa Kleypases were all 5 out of 5, even though I liked some more than others. I still loved them all. So then in January, I've also read 5 volumes of Saga by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. I'd already read volume 1, I think not last year, the year before maybe, could even be the year before that, but I decided that it had been such a long time since I read it that I really must reread it, so I did. And then I don't know why, because I always enjoyed volume 1, I don't know why I hadn't picked up the other volumes, so I did. I went ahead and bought these and read them this month. Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4 and Volume 5. Really enjoying them. I've got the next 3 volumes ready to read, and I'm forcing myself to slow down my pace on them a little bit because I know that after Volume 8 I'm going to have a really long wait for Volume 9. So trying to eke that out. I also read this really randomly. It was literally like, it didn't take very long to read at all. I read it one evening, and that's Pugs and Prejudice by Jane Austen with Eliza Garrett. This is just a really, really amusing book that if you like classic novels, or you know someone that enjoys classic novels or is an animal lover, I think they'll really love these. They're called Classic Tales, but tales spelt AI, and they're really, really fun. I have a couple of these. This is the only one I've read so far. I also have The Great Gatsby and Romeo and Juliet. They're just really, really funny. They're not very long at all. Really, really tiny, and it's basically retellings of classic novels but with animals, and they're so funny. I think my favourite picture in this is this one, and it's the ballroom. I just found it really amusing. They're really light-hearted, and really, really fun. So yeah, I read that one evening, which amused me. Let me just check where I'm up to. I think that's all the physical novels that I read this month. So onto the Kindle books. I read oh, tickle in my throat. I read XO Zack by Kendall Ryan. I think this is a standalone novel from her. It's one of her newest books. I haven't kept up with Kendall Ryan. She's very much an author that I've read a couple of her books and enjoyed them. One of them I really, really loved, and I cannot for the life of me think of what it's called. Shit. I can't think of what it's called. But that's one of my favourites. And then after that, her books were a bit hit and miss for me, so I haven't kept up. But I liked the sound of this one. And it's basically about this guy and girl, Zach obviously, and I think her name's Poppy, and they meet one night at a party, really connect. He helps her out by pretending to be her boyfriend in front of her ex, but then they get talking and they really kind of like each other, but she's actually a single mother and she's just been dumped by her ex, so she's not really looking for anything else. So she says, you know, if we see each other again, you know, maybe it's meant to be. And then bam, they meet each other because it turns out that he's her course advisor at college. He's a couple of years older than her, but not massively older than her. And she's basically his student that he has to advise through her thing. And she's like, you know, shit. And it goes, I feel like it drags on a little bit in that, you know, the should we, shouldn't we, should we, shouldn't we, should we, shouldn't she, more on her part than his. And I was just like, oh, so that was a little bit frustrating, but overall I really kind of enjoyed it. I just wish that that side of stuff hadn't been as drawn out, because it didn't feel like actual development, it just felt like dragging on, you know what I mean? But other than that, it was really cute. Really enjoyed it. Would probably give it sort of 3.5 out of 5. Not my favourite, but I didn't dislike it. Then I read Love Me Like This. Jeez, I really can't get my words out today. By Bella Andre. This is the third book in her Morrison series, which is really cute because it started off as kind of like the first book in the series was like a YA new adult kind of novel, which I really like because I like Bella Andre Sullivan series, which is an adult contemporary romance series. So I thought, oh nice, we're getting young adult / new adult from Bella Andre. The second book kind of felt more like her adult stuff, not because it's X-rated or anything like that, but you know, the characters are older, because you know, he was a rock star and stuff, so they were that little bit older again. And in this one, it kind of felt again like her adult books, because the characters are older, so it kind of felt like this series has morphed into her Sullivan series, which is absolutely fine because I absolutely love her Sullivan series. And you do get crossovers between the Morrisons and the Sullivans, which is nice. So this book is about, oh my god, I know her name is Taylor. Oh, Taylor and Justin. And they met at college and they became absolute best friends. Justin, they've always basically fancied each other and grew to love each other, but didn't know the other one felt like that, so they've always kind of just thought the other person just wanted to be friends. And because Justin was so in love with her and she was with someone else, he basically has been living in Germany. And when he comes back for his brother's wedding, his family have basically booked him to stay at Taylor's B&B, and they reconnect again, and then they both find out that actually they did both have feelings for each other, but there's some sort of something stopping Taylor from wanting to be with him, and that's sort of health thing wise. But it was just so good. I read it in 2 days. I absolutely loved it so much. I gave it, I think, 5 out of 5. Really, really enjoyed it. Loved the characters. Yeah, just really, really super cute romance. If you're into them, check it out. And then the last thing that I read was The Wedding by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a very, very short novella that's on Wattpad, and it's literally from her Luck series. It's kind of 5.5, but it's super short. You can't even really call it a novella. It's super tiny. And it's just about Kat and Damon, their wedding, as the title would suggest. I really enjoyed reading it. I love the Luck series. I really miss reading that series. I was so sad when it ended. I'm glad that we're going to be getting more stuff from her in that world, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, it was really cute. It's really hard to rate it because it's so short, you know, but it would be 5 out of 5 because it's the Luck series and it's Jennifer L. Armentrout. So yeah, so that is everything that I read in January, guys. Like I said, I'm really happy that I've got off to a good start reading wise this year, because I don't really read as much as I used to. Like, I used to read on the bus into work, but fortunately a colleague pretty much picks me up and drops me home now most days because it's en route for her. So I don't read really in the mornings anymore. So really I just read before bed. So yeah, I have as much physical reading time, but I do, when I do get the chance to read, I love to sit down and still read. So, oh god, now I've got acid reflux. This is not turning out to be a good day for me. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.